Welcome back to Bloodstock 2015, and we're in the luxurious press area with Knockout Kaine. And you're not on for, well, it's not that far, about another hour or so.
About an hour before we hit the stage,
on the Jaeger stage.
On the Jägermeister, it's compact and bijou.
It is, isn't it? I love that. You know, as you say, it's the most intimate stage of the festival, but that's nice. You know, you're on the same level as well. You know?
To be totally honest with you, we're at home in that kind of place because we've been straddling two sort of like areas of the industry for such a long time, big stages, small stages, that we're still at home. It's fine.
Yeah. And does that well, I was going to say, does it affect your performance? But probably, obviously, it doesn't. But is it a different mindset when you're on a small stage to a larger stage?
I think everything's a little bit, probably a little bit more raw and far more rock and roll in a smaller environment, and a little bit because it's more visceral, isn't it? You know, you get and you're closer to the people, and exactly. But the thing is, we always smell worse than they do, and that's the way it's always been.
Yeah, brilliant. So, how do you go about putting together a set for a show like this? It's obviously a shorter time.
Yeah, it's difficult when you've got a back catalogue of songs like we have. But for it's been quite easy, really, I suppose, because for a festival like Bloodstock, we're going to keep it harder and less, so there'll be no acoustic guitar songs, and there'll be no sort of like piano-based songs or anything like that. It'll all be sort of like the balls to the wall rock. It wasn't a hard thing to do. Having said that, we wanted to squeeze 7 songs into a half-hour set, and I think that's going to be a tall order. And we don't want to get cut off at the end. It's happened before.
When people mention the band's name, you know, you always get that sort of image of, I mean, it's sort of, I don't know how to describe you really. Not that I like pigeonholing people, but it's like classic, all-out, major riffs, isn't it, and a lot of melodies. Yeah,
I suppose when we first started out, I mean, the band's been around for a number of years, and when we first started out, I think we went for more of an extreme sort of like almost glam sort of like image, which we've. As the years have gone by, it's tailored off. It's more about the music than the way we look, to be fair, that's opened us up to a wider demographic as well, I think. I hate to say, all we are is a hard rock band, but I mean, but a lot of our music, especially on the second album, Rise of the Electric Jester, it's quite eclectic. There's quite a wide range of musical styles going on within the songs.
It's not sort of constrained you, that's the hard rock label, has it? I mean,
no,
you've still been able to do what you want.
No, I mean, there is a place in the world for generic bands that have one sort of like track to their existence. And some of my favourite bands in the world are like that, you know, like AC/DC is one of my favourite bands in the world, but everything they do, you know instantly, the first chord, it's AC/DC. Whereas I think that after doing our first album, when it came to doing the second album, we wanted to like stretch our wings, I suppose, musically, and we started exploring other avenues, because we're all into loads of different kinds of music and have different influences, and it's come out really well, you know. So and people are really receiving it well as well.
Oh,
you know.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I heard a lot of very good things about it. And did that make the recording process? Was it able to be kept nice and fluid?
It was. We have we're lucky enough. Our guitar player at his home has got an absolutely amazing home studio system. So we're able to go there with our song ideas and songs written or half written in a rehearsal space, and demo. And what we did for this album is we had 30 songs, so we were going to we demoed all 30, and then we like cherry picked sort of like the best 10 stroke 11 songs for the record, in a way that we played family and friends and all the rest of it, see what they liked, but see what we liked. But we also tried to choose songs that were going to be cohesive and make the album a cohesive entity, rather than just sort of like bit and bobbing around. Something that would actually flow through as one thing, like bands did back in the 70s when it was all vinyl. It had to be a cohesive thing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you go back to vinyl, you'd have maybe 5 or 6 on one side, so those had to sort of flow into each other.
Yeah,
didn't
and
they?
a deluxe version of the album is coming out on vinyl in the next few months.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
And a lot of people are doing that now, and I think it's absolutely great. I mean, vinyl is making a comeback,
and so it should. Yeah,
it's a totally different feel as well, isn't it? To have that album in your hand.
completely. I mean, I still have an extensive sort of vinyl collection at home, and play them all the time. In fact, I play them more than I use like digital like music at home. Simply because I love to hear the pops and squeaks, and the ambience of the whole thing. I think it's amazing. Yeah.
I was dug out. I think it was a 12-inch copy of Onslaught's "Let There Be Rock" cover from
Amazing.
'87. And it's full of scratches, and but that's the whole feel of it, isn't it?
But
Really
also, I
organic.
mean, vinyl recordings tend to be to be a little more warm, and they just have this extra little thing to them, and I'm ridiculously pleased because it's the first time in my career that anything of mine is coming out on vinyl. So awesome.
Yeah, brilliant. Have you been? You've also done a couple of videos, haven't you, for tracks off the album?
We did. Well, the first one was from the first album,
Oh, right, okay.
Set the Night on Fire, which is the one where we got Bruce Dickinson to be in it, and that was a major feather in the cap. Although I totally lost my shit because he's like my hero, and it's the first time in my entire life, even though we've worked with so many like stars.
Yeah.
It's the first time in my life that I've ever been starstruck because
A fanboy moment.
yeah, completely drained of colour in the face and like tripping over my words.
So, do you enjoy the video side of it?
It's not something that I'm really comfortable with. I'm not really comfortable with photo shoots or I mean, it's a necessary evil in the industry, I suppose. It's not. I'm more comfortable just being on stage and just playing music, and I'm comfortable in the studio too. I think everyone in the band is a little bit more like that, except for Danny, our drummer, who a few years ago was a model. He did modelling professionally. He rises to the occasion beautifully, but the rest of us, it takes some time and quite a lot of alcohol to get into the process.
Just to ease you in. Yeah.
Oh, you've got to.
Yeah. A question I've got to ask, I suppose, is what about sort of new material in the pipeline? Have we anything?
We've got. We're constantly writing.
Yeah.
When we've got any downtime, which this year we haven't had a lot, but when we've got any downtime, we're always writing. We're going to each other's houses, writing stuff on our own, and then recording it and emailing scratchy copies of stuff to people to put their own bits to it. So we've got like a back catalogue now, about like 50 odd songs for the next record. But the next record, we won't go into the studio to start recording it, but it'll be 10 or 12 months before we do it. And we're looking forward to doing it, but obviously our focus is on the new record at the minute. So.
Sure. And when you are going to sort of stick to the same direction now, or do you fancy going off in a?
It's got to the point where we're not playing the music; we're trying to let the music play us. You know what I mean? So it goes where it wants to go, and that's the way that we work the best, I think. Because I mean, it's like. Our drummer Danny, he's into hard rock and metal, but he's also into like funk and jazz. And bass player Lee, my beautiful brother, he got the looks, I got the talent. He's a massive punk head and hardcore head. And when it comes down to me and Jim, we're into like country and country rock and bluegrass and stuff like that, as well as being into like rock and metal and all these things. Hopefully, are coming into sort of like a melting pot and coming out with a definitive sound. Hopefully,
Yeah. So what's next? Once Bloodstock dust has settled, what are you going to do immediately after now?
We've had a great festival season. There's been a lot of festivals. We've done a lot of work, and when I say work, it ain't work. It's fucking fun. So this is our final festival of the festival season, and it's nice to be at a major festival doing it, because the last time we did anything even a little bit like this was when we played Download a few years ago, and that was mega as well. So to end it with this, and then it's a few one-night stands. We're doing a lot of studio work, demoing some new tracks, and at the tail end of the year, there's like 2 support slots for tours with some name acts that I can't say yet because it's only penciled in and it's not set in stone. Sure. And if I did say and they got wind of it, we wouldn't be getting the gig.
Yeah, you don't want to risk that.
There's about 4 days at Christmas where we'll fall into a great heap on the floor, drink some Jack Daniels for a while, cover ourselves in tinsel, and then as soon as New Year comes around, it's back on the fucking treadmill again. It ain't a treadmill, it's a carousel.
that's how you got to be, and you got to be sort of on it constantly, really, haven't you? Otherwise, we live in a society today where people can forget you.
We've never stopped working. We've never stopped doing what we do for even an instant for the last 7 years. Whenever an opportunity comes our way, we say yes to it immediately. If it's a good opportunity, we say, yep, we're doing it. And then if we can't fucking do it, we have to sort out all the crap in the days afterwards until we can do it, kind of thing, because we've already said yes, we've already signed a contract, we're doing it. And I think that's the way it has to be for any band, from real grassroots to working themselves to a place where we're making a living from it, which is the golden ticket as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to be ordering my Ferrari anytime soon, but making a living is good. And I can't say, and I know I can speak on behalf of every single member of the band that we're all ridiculously happy with everything. All the right moves seem to have been made in the right place, and we've had a lot of luck, and it seems to be going right.
Brilliant. Well, we wish you every luck with what's to come in the future, and obviously the album's still available through the band's social media pages.
You can get it from Amazon and HMV and iTunes and all the major places. There are in the UK. There's a select few of HMV shops that will stock it. But if you go in there and you ask them for the record, and they'll ask you for the record label, just say Rock Sector Records. They will source it and they'll get it into you. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Thanks very much indeed for your time, and enjoy the rest of the festival.
No problem. Thanks, Simon. Cheers, mate.